With BYU and Utah no longer in the same conference and the game coming this early in the season, well, we wanted to know if it still means the same to the Cougars' most vocal audience. True Blue's Michael Bodmer reports.
Rivalry revamped. It's not the Mountain West, it's the Pac-12 and Independence, and it's not Week 12, but it's Week 3. So what does this mean for one of the oldest rivalries in college football? We caught up with students to find out.
I would say it's even more intense right now because Utah wants to prove they're the big dog in a small pool. They're trying to prove that they're the Pac-12 big school. And BYU's an independent, and we're trying to prove that we're still relevant and that we still can compete with the big boys.
If anything now, I want to root against Utah even more because they're not in the same conference.
It's location more than anything. You know, in terms of rivalry, it's always going to be BYU-Utah. We don't have to be in the same conference to have that sort of rivalry.
Even more so, it might help it this year just because both universities think they have a little bit more to prove because they've gone in different directions.
The fact that it's meeting in Week 3 rather than Week 12, does that detract from the rivalry, or is it still pretty much the same?
I don't think so. I mean, I tried to get tickets and it was still $100+ to get it.
I don't like it as much being as much in Week 3. The end of the season, I always like to be in the last game of the season because you look forward to the whole season. But I don't think it'll diminish it that much.
At first I was a little bit, you know, like, I like playing them at the end, but now it's kind of like the earlier the better, just so we can have more bragging rights throughout the year when we beat them.
Putting it this early, it kind of detracts from the intensity of the game, I think.
I think it will be a little bit different just because BYU and Utah both have the rest of their seasons ahead of them, so it might not mean as much as that last week game, you know, rankings in the BCS, that kind of thing, but I think it'll still have a very similar effect.